Welcome back to Tiny Table Talk. I'm Crystal,
And I'm Lily.
and today we're going to ask ourselves, are we seeing clearly or are we seeing through fear? Okay, so we're going to start off a little differently today. We're going to start off with our folklore. There are stories across cultures of something that can look exactly like the person that you trust. The same face, the same voice, the same presence, but something feels off. In some traditions, it's called a doppelganger, um, a double that appears and makes you question what's real. Take it away.
All right. First, okay, wait, backtrack. I low key want to ask you first. Have you ever experienced doppelganger?
No, but I have had people say they have ran into my doppelganger.
Mm.
Hmm.
Fun fact, it's actually known that in this world, there's at least four people that possibly look exactly like you. Did you know that?
What's the probability that they're actually related to you, though?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. Anyways, so we're gonna kick it off with a doppelganger. Based on many cultures, depending on which one you're looking at, based on the research I went over, doppelgangers tend to mean an omen of bad luck, illness, or an impending death. Which I didn't know that. It's kind of crazy. Um, so the omen of death, like it's the most prevalent belief. um, Seeing your own doppelganger is a warning of your own imminent death. So if you see your own like version of yourself, you probably gonna die.
What if it's like the Parent Trap where it's long lost twins and they like run into each other?
Hey, there's that exception. Look at the end of Pretty Little Liars. Whole time Spencer had a twin, evil twin. In case for those who have seen Pretty Little Liars and watched it till the end, me being one of them. Um, but yeah. And then of course there's the warning of illness and bad luck. So if a friend or family member sees your doppelganger, it is believed to be an omen that you will become very ill or face great misfortune.
So if you face your own doppelganger, it's your imminent death. But if your friend faces your doppelganger, it's misfortune and what?
Illness.
Illness.
Yep.
Interesting.
And then, of course, a lot of people refer to it as like your evil twin. Um, they're often viewed as malevolent entities, which obviously go back to the whole like, oh, you're either going to get sick or you're going to die. It's kind of crazy.
Don't ever tell me if you see my doppelganger again.
Wouldn't you want to know though? That would be like a good warning. Like,
Like, oh, I get enough warnings as it is. Like, I don't want to know. First of all, if I see my own doppelganger, I'm be like, I didn't see you. I'm blind.
yeah, I'm legally blind. I'm just an innocent bystander.
No, I'm like, this is not real. This is
This
not real.
that was AI.
That was AI.
That was AI. Okay, so just like fun facts, like there's actually famous people, for those of you who don't know, who have experienced their doppelgangers and have actually died. For starters, Abraham Lincoln is one of them. Story goes that reportedly he saw two separate and distinct reflections of himself in a mirror, one much paler than the other, which his wife interpreted as a sign he would not survive his second term. And what happened to him? He died. He was killed. Crazy stuff, right?
He saw like he looked at himself in the mirror and saw two of himself.
Yes, he saw two separate and distinct reflections of himself in a mirror, one much paler than the other. So, like two versions of himself. One of them was more paler, and the other one's, I guess, I'm assuming, seemed like looked more like him, not completely white. I guess you could say it was like of a foreshadowing of, yeah, like you're gonna die. Like this is you now, and this is what you're gonna look like when you die.
Lily, you got me scared to go out in public.
I'm scared to look into the mirror. What if I see two of me?
Girl, first of all, don't say that. Now I'm gonna be like,
I'll be getting ready in the morning and be like, cover my eyes with a bandana.
oh my God, no.
Yeah. There's another one, Queen Elizabeth the First. I'm assuming that's what that is. Allegedly saw her own double lying on her bed, pale and sickly, shortly before her own death. I didn't know. I did not know any of this, so I'm just as shocked as you are. Crazy stuff, right? And then there's also, I don't know who this is, but their name is Percy. I'm gonna say this wrong. Bichet Shelley, and they claim to have met his. He claimed to have met his own double on a terrace shortly before his death. So it seems like there's a pattern. Like you either see yourself or you meet yourself before you die. It's kind of like a weird concept.
You see yourself or you meet yourself before you die.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of reminds me of the whole concept of like learning your purpose in life. And then, that theory of once you've reached your purpose in life, you did.
That's where my mind is going right now too, because you also get the people who are like in their deathbeds and they're like life flashes before their eyes, or they see other people before they die, like other, deceased people. Imagine if you're seeing yourself too, and nobody just gets the opportunity to talk about that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or imagine that you're seeing yourself in your deathbed, right? At your deathbed, but like you're floating over, like that's another concept, like you're floating over yourself in your deathbed, like that's your soul getting ready to leave your body. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's basically like best way to put it, foreshadowing your own death. So yeah, that's a little bit about doppelgangers. Me personally, I don't think I've ever experienced doppelganger. Like I've never seen myself. No one has ever seen, or people have told me they've seen me. Like I remember I got this message one time from one of our family friends, and he had sent it to my mom, and he was like, "Isn't this Lily?" And it was just like this random girl working at some store, and she was like the cash register lady. And she was like, "No, that's not her," but she looked just like me.
That is so weird because recently somebody that I know thought that they knew me and my family because they thought that you worked I don't remember where, somewhere where they worked before. Oh my God.
No, why are y'all telling me this? Damn, now I'm gonna get sick, or I'm gonna have misfortune.
I mean, this was a while back. You know what? This was actually probably around the time you last got sick.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God, that makes sense. Now, okay, so now anytime that happens, I'm gonna like pay attention and see what happens.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about doppelgangers. Those are like fun facts and stuff that I found. But I want to like transition to another folklore that I found that I thought was pretty interesting. And it's going to tie into the dream that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
So these are like, okay, because I got my intro here for that too.
I got you.
It's this, and there are other stories. There are other stories, right, of something that doesn't deceive you right away, something that appears beautiful, inviting, until it's revealing its true form. In Latin folklore, they call her La Patasola.
La Patasola. Now, okay, keep in mind, y'all, when I first read the name of this entity.
Well, wait, are we allowed to speak on this? Because I don't want it to happen like last week where we talked about the doll and we were like,
some weird shit was happening. I mean, some weird stuff was happening. No, I think we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So when I first read the name of this entity, I was like, hello? Like, Patasola. Why is she called Patasola? So, translated to English, that would be the one-legged woman. Mm-hmm. But obviously the backstory goes into why she's named that.
Not the one-legged, like Rory's boo-boo chicken.
Oh yeah, like her chicken. I was looking at her. Y'all, I didn't know that the chicken, and keep in mind, I've watched Moana multiple times. I loved the movie Moana, and I just realized today that the chicken on the movie has one leg.
Boo Boo Chicken has one leg.
I thought it was missing a leg. I thought she had torn the leg off, but no, it just has one leg.
Roy's aggressive, but not that aggressive.
All right, so the origin behind La Patasola. It originated from Colombian culture. So the origin of the story is many versions state that she was a beautiful but unfaithful wife who was caught cheating on her hardworking husband with his boss. Enraged, the husband murdered the boss, cut off one of her legs with an axe, and left her to die in the jungle. Through supernatural forces, she became a demon that feeds on blood and the flesh of men. So now, obviously, the stories go that whenever I guess she's like preying on people, she comes off super like beautiful, seductive, like trying to attract the men to her. And once she gets a guy and she'll lure him into the jungle, still appearing to be beautiful and seductive, thinking that things are going to go well. Once they're by themselves and isolated, she reveals her true form. And so she lures the man away and transforms into a monster with one leg and ending in a hoof, tangled hair, fangs, and a monstrous face. And then she begins to drink the victim's blood and devour him.
This is giving like what is it, an incubus or a succubus?
I would say that it's definitely giving that kind of vibe. The only difference is I think like the incubus and the succubus actually like have sexual intercourse with you.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't. Like it just lures you, isolates you, and then once you're by yourself, like immediately transitions into this monster and kills you and eats you alive.
It's also giving like Horcrux from like Harry Potter.
Horcrux. Remind me, I'm sorry, I've seen these movies, but I don't.
Wow. I'm just gonna take a moment of silence for the disappointment in the room.
I feel like I should leave. We should tie this up right now.
Okay, the Horcrux is the you know how in the last two movies, or really, yeah, in the last two movies, they're going through the forest and stuff. They're traveling, looking for the objects that Voldemort tied his soul to every time he murdered somebody.
Right.
And for example, they couldn't figure out how to destroy the necklace, and so that big old like form of like, I think it was Ron. No, it was Harry and Hermione were like making out, and Ron was like, it was getting to him.
Oh yeah.
It's giving like that, but the opposite, you know? Because
Yes.
the Horcrux would drain you of your energy too.
Right. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. And she like yanks off the necklace and throws it, and then he's like back to himself, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened? I'm into Jenny, right? That's her name."
Well, it was something that appeared to Ron when he was wearing the necklace.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, y'all.
I cannot.
It's been a minute since I watched those movies. Damn.
We watch these movies like once a month here, okay?
I should jump back into doing that because I remember I would watch that consistently. Like that was just like a movie for fun.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the story. Technically, she's considered like the protector of the jungle. But yeah, like she feeds on men and like seduces them and gets them to isolation and attacks them. She's usually more brutal towards miners, lodgers, and hunters who destroy her environment. So if y'all find yourselves in a jungle, don't be messing around. Don't be effing stuff up. She gonna come find you and eat you and suck your blood.
It sounds like she'd be working for Mother Gaia or something like
It
that. You
sounds
better
like
watch
it.
out.
Yeah.
Don't be cutting down no trees.
Yeah. So La Patasola often takes the form of a loved one or an ideal woman to entrap her victims, acting as a specialized doppelganger.
So like a mimic.
Yeah, like a mimic.
Oh my god. Okay, so I could believe in the doppelganger thing. I could believe in the mimics. Well, I mean, the basically la patasola is another form. I guess it's just specific to that culture or that area.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I believe it. I believe it.
But it's kind of creepy, like if you think about it, because she obviously in the story it says when she was killed, she like through supernatural forces she becomes like this demon like spirit. So just imagine like you being lured and then thinking something completely different, and then she takes true form of what she really looks like. That has to be really really scary. Like
But
I don't know.
also, who's luring you in the middle of the jungle? Why? That's like the Appalachians. Don't be listening. Don't be listening. Don't be following noises.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty creepy. It's pretty creepy.
I understand why they have characters in the scary movies that follow the scary noises and the scary things.
Yeah, you know what this story also reminds me of, and we're gonna take back to some OG vibes here. Remember the story that they told us about at that one club in San Luis Potosi?
Oh man,
Do you remember it or no?
I don't remember the story.
So the story goes, and I'll never forget it because obviously we played at this club when we went. That's why I remember it, and it's kind of creepy because it's like, oh, because it's so easy to fall into this. But the story goes that at that specific club, multiple women say that, like, for example, say I went there for a night to go dancing or whatever, and then this attractive guy like appears out of nowhere, and I think he's attractive, blah blah blah. We start dancing the entire night. And then I think it says like right at midnight or when the no, I think it's right at midnight. Right at midnight, he starts to like his feet start to transform into hooves. And then like the girl gets like a weird vibe and then like looks up and realizes, oh damn, I'm dancing with the devil. But yeah, and then like they say like the reports go that the women would say that he, like as much as this guy was attractive and stuff, the people around that woman and that guy dancing, they would smell the stench of like sulfur and like rotten eggs. So so he was attractive but then turned evil.
Dude, I remember the story, but I thought it was told to us about another place.
Really?
Like I feel like I've heard this story about different places.
It honestly it could be different places because again like if you think about it the clubs are like the perfect energetic vibes for things like that to manifest. But at least I mean that I remember that story specifically because we had played at that club, and I didn't hear about the story till I think the next day they were telling uh Gordo about it. Yeah, crazy stuff. I don't know if y'all have heard that story, but if y'all have,
That's just that's all crazy to me.
yeah,
You know, you got to be mindful. Demons will do absolutely anything,
mm-hmm,
anything to lure you in.
yeah, and it's definitely I feel like that those scenarios are very vulnerable to us because if you think about it, we're at the clubs, we're drinking, we're not in our sixth sense. Like, obviously, you're gonna feel some kind of like tipsiness or whatever. So you're just going with the flow. You're going with what's in the moment. So it's very easy to fall into that trap, and then before you know it, like it's too late. Crazy vibes. Crazy vibes.
Well, they said that even about what was the story that they told us about Bees Island Club?
Ooh,
The
that
owner,
one.
right?
The owner. Yeah, y'all. Do you know that full story?
I don't, but I know that the owner would show up and talk to people or something, right?
Yes. So it's crazy. I remember one time for those of y'all that know about what was it, bees or Tejanita?
It well, it was Bees Island Club. It was the Island Club, and then it became La Tejanita at the
With
end,
that,
right?
yeah, with that new manager or
And
owner.
was it then that owner or was it a previous owner?
No,
That was the
it
owner,
was
right?
that owner. Yeah. So the story
Okay.
goes is it's Tejanita was located on Ritchie and Alan Genoa.
Here in Pasadena, Texas.
Pass it, Stinkadena, Texas.
Period.
And it was right there, like where Queens, where that Michoacana was, where Fiesta's at now. For those of y'all that don't know, right where that little shop of
Well,
seafood place is at.
it was converted to La Michoacana, right?
Yes, it
Okay.
was. And there's this story. This story ties into that as
Yeah.
well. So the story went at the time. The manager, I assuming, was involved with some kind of stuff, but maybe they misidentified him or whatever. One day he was there working late, and they walked in and they shot up his entire office, and he was found dead. Like they shot him up bad. So obviously, like they still leave the bar open. Fast track to whenever we actually played at a benefit, I think it was, or weird.
We're doing something there. We were in and out of that place all the time.
Yeah, I remember it was during the day though that we had gotten there, and at the time I think PTK was cooking something there, and they were setting up the back part of the bar, and I can't remember who it was that said that the owner showed up. He was dressed in the same clothes that he was killed in, and had a full conversation with somebody, and then just like walked away and disappeared. And then later on that night, my mom would always take pictures when we were out, right? So she's like taking pictures, blah blah blah. And I think Ricky Guzman was playing that night. They were on stage.
I remember that. Yes, that was our first time there to see him.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So they were on stage, and my mom took pictures of everybody on stage. And on one of those pictures, you can clearly see somebody standing either next to Ricky or Don Ricardo. And it's the manager. Like he's in his checkered shirt. I think it was red and white, and it was like tucked in. You could see his belt and his jeans. He was standing on stage. And then to tie it all up, years after they closed it down, obviously after that tragedy and all the reports of seeing him, they turned it into Michoacana. And one time, me and my family went to Michoacana, and we were like, so do y'all hear anything or like feel anything? And the workers were like, why are you asking? We're like, well, it's because we know the story, like the backstory to this place. And we started telling them, and they were like, oh, well, that makes sense because there's things that will like fly across the store, like like little food or whatever, like fly across the store. The restrooms, when you go to the restrooms, the lights would go on and off, and you can hear banging in there. So I thought it was kind of weird how all that tied together. And then they were like, we didn't know that. Blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the story. Now y'all know why the things are happening. And then I think a little bit after that, they ended up closing down La Michoacana.
They closed down La Michoacana too?
Yeah.
So what's there now?
Nothing.
Oh, it's closed.
It's closed
completely.
Closed. Like there's nothing there now. I think they knocked the building down.
I haven't paid attention like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you pass by there, I think it's knocked down or it's completely closed. And the only thing there is that little seafood shop that's there, which I don't even know if they're open or not. But
that's crazy.
Crazy stuff, y'all. But I also feel like, see, this is my theory. Whenever you die like a tragic death and unexpected, you definitely linger around. And you definitely like make your presence known because you weren't ready to leave, you know?
Right.
So
he was probably like, the audacity of y'all to turn this place into a grocery store.
He was probably like,
I would have been mad too. Like, what? Why?
Been like, man, where's all the partying at? Where'd that go?
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. But are they spirits or are they mimics is the question.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
because I have a theory too that the soul will ascend no matter what. And you either make it to the heavens or you reincarnate. That's my theory.
mm-hmm.
So lingering spirits are not necessarily souls that stayed.
Right.
To me, at least.
Right.
So are they?
Yeah.
Are they mimics?
And that falls straight into the topic of, are these demons using these spirits that are familiar to lure people and be able to get their ultimate goal of possessing you and either killing, suicide, or both? Because that's what demons are here for, right?
Yep. Feed off the energy.
Yeah.
Whatever they can find.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we need to stay strong at will and strong in heart.
And in our faith is very important.
Yes.
Very strong.
Well, one thing makes you question what you're seeing, and the other reminds you that not everything reveals itself at once.
Yep.
So when it comes to dreams, to intuition, into relationships. The real question is, are you seeing clearly or are you seeing through fear? Okay? I'm gonna transition here into our little dream now. Okay. Because Stargazer came through this time with the dreams.
This stargazer.
Girl. Okay.
This is low key like a little tea session at the same
A little
time.
it's a little tea session for sure. Okay. Sometimes what we experience doesn't come to us in waking life. It comes to us in dreams. Dreams can feel just as real, sometimes even more real than what we experience during the day. So, I want to share a story about our stargazer who had a dream that felt so real that it followed her even after she woke up. And what makes the story so interesting is that part of it turned out to be true.
Mm.
And another part was something that they had to realize was coming from within.
Mm.
Mhm. So let's get into it. The dream first, the dream that was right. Okay. This person shared that they once had a dream where their partner was cheating on them. And in the dream, they were told to check a specific app on their partner's phone. And when they woke up, they had that feeling, just sinking feeling in their gut. Not panic, not spiraling, but the quiet, just knowing, right? Okay. So they checked. And at first, nothing. But later, just so coincidentally, a text message came from that exact app to the phone while the person was around the phone.
Mm.
Okay. So it turned out that their partner was living a double life. There was indeed activity on the app that she originally had checked and found nothing on.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. And I don't know. I was just like, whoa.
Activity as in like definitely there was cheating going on and like
There was like, yeah, it was a double life kind of situation where that she was with that person, right? But then also that person was on social media, basically, you know, conversing with other people as if they were single, basically.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's pause here because there is symbolism in this, right? So the phone in the app, in the dream, she's being told, check the phone, check that app, right? The phone represents communication, but deeper than that, it represents access.
Okay, I can see that.
Access to truth, access to what's hidden, and access to what's not being said out loud. Okay. Uh, and then the fact that they were told where to look, that's not chaos, that's direction.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Very specific direction, not just I say coming from intuition, but also coming from their own spirit team. You know,
Yeah.
someone's watching out for you.
Like your
Someone's gonna let
guides.
you know.
Yeah, your guides are definitely guiding you there.
Yeah. So, one thing to point out here is that when intuition speaks, it does not overwhelm you. It simply guides you or points you in the right direction. So that's one of the things you have to understand about trying to figure out whether or not something is or is not true
Mm-hmm.
in the spiritual aspect.
Right.
Okay? So, this person woke up not overwhelmed. It was like just knowing that it was the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even then, like not seeing it immediately, but knowing it's the truth and eventually seeing it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, when something is true, do you think it feels confusing?
No.
No, right?
No. Truth will always feel like, oh, that kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That stomach feeling like damn.
Yeah, it's like a quiet, like,
Yeah.
can't ignore it.
Mm-mm.
So, what likely happened here also is not that the dream created the truth, but that the body already knew. So the person may have been noticing like subtle changes, energy shifts, things that didn't fully make sense yet. And that further later registered, and the dream gave awareness to that. The
Mm-hmm.
dream gave it a voice. So sometimes your intuition doesn't come through clearly during the waking day, So it speaks when you're quiet.
That would make sense.
Have you ever had a dream that turned out to be true?
Oh man, let me see. A dream that has come true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like it happens more often than people think. They just don't pay attention.
Right. They don't pay attention and then suddenly it happens in real life and you're like, "Oh."
It kind of feels like deja vu.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was just thinking that. It feels
Yeah.
like I've lived this before, you know?
Mm-hmm. But you didn't. You were told it ahead of time.
Damn. See, y'all think y'all can be slick out here with y'all little cheating and stuff. Y'all ain't that slick.
Yeah, we just ain't paying attention.
Yeah, we just say, look, but let our intuition
But
kick
that's
in.
what we're here for, because our stargazers are going to be paying attention now.
That's
Okay?
that's the whole point of this podcast. We trying to teach y'all and get y'all to a point where it's like you can't bull crap. You can't
You
bull
clocking
crap.
it in the dream world.
We're clocking
period.
it. And it's not AI. It's not AI.
It's not AI. Haters gonna say it's AI. Haters gonna say you're talking to ChatGPT. That's why you think I'm cheating.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm done.
Man,
Okay.
that was a good one. That was funny.
Okay. All right. But then, okay, because there's a part 2 to this. Stargazer's not done yet. Then later on, right? So fast forward, I don't know, maybe a month, a few months, a year, 2 years, I don't know. But basically, she had another dream.
Okay.
The same person started having dreams again, watching their partner with other women over and over. And this time, Stargazer would wake up with anxieties, like overwhelming anxiety that would stay with them for days. Okay. And when they looked at their reality at that point, there was nothing happening.
So they had the dreams consistently of that person being with another person, and then you physically checked, like they physically checked,
Yeah,
to see if there was activity of that,
Yeah.
and then there was nothing.
There was nothing.
Okay.
There was nothing. There was never anything to, I guess, see or prove or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So that repetition, though, when this starts happening repeatedly, it matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because repetition in dreams is usually not intuition.
Mm.
It's actually the opposite. It's processing. Remember?
Oh.
That's the whole point of dreams.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Your mind trying to work through something that is unresolved. So take, for instance, the first actual instance of where they found out what was actually going on in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Stargazer said that, um, you know, she found out everything. Of course, there was like issues, and then there was resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Resolution where you kind of just get over it and move on, I guess, on
Right.
both ends. And then the other person makes the effort to fix things too. So, you stay together, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing though is that, does Stargazer really get over it, or is Stargazer on edge, just waiting for something else to happen?
Right.
So then what's normally going to happen now? You're going to start having dreams that it's happening. You're going to wake up with anxiety. You're going to wake up with like just heart racing and just like always on edge. Like, you know what it feels like to live with anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So notice they're watching it happen, right? They're not knowing here. They're just watching it happen. They're watching it. Watching it creates distance here. And distance in dreams often represents fear, disconnection, or lack of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's a lot deeper than this is what's actually happening in real life. It's what you fear is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what do you find yourself replaying? And even when nothing is happening in your reality?
What do I find? Okay. Like in general or like in
You
relationships?
can say in general. Yeah.
In general, oh man. I'm trying to think because I feel like recently I haven't had that kind of thing.
You haven't had it recently either, and I'm trying to think like when was the last time that was happening to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've been so like chill lately. It's like, I think if I can think back to it, now I'm gonna refer to it like relationship because that's what we're talking about. There was a few times where I would have a consistent dream of this person being with another person or being with other people, and that was like repetitive, pretty repetitive. So, I mean, but in like an actual real life reality, I don't think I've, to my knowledge right now, I don't think that I've experienced that in reality.
Mm. I think for me it would be dreams of neglection because I'm a very affectionate, very like I need attention person. That's
Yeah.
that's how I love and stuff, and that's how I love being loved.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with somebody who's way opposite of that. I don't know how we ended up together, but whatever. Uh, but he shows his love in other ways. And my fear for a long time though was you don't love me if you're not showing me affection or attention.
But I think,
That was my fear for a long time. So I would have dreams of just being neglected and not being heard. Like I would scream for him and he wouldn't respond.
mm,
Those were my
y-
dreams.
girl, you know what? Now you just opened a can of worms.
Oh Lord.
You okay? The dreams that I was referring to earlier, in those specific dreams, I always felt unchosen. Always, always, and I
It's
would,
always something deeper. It's not really
yeah,
just about seeing them with someone else.
yeah, because I can backtrack to a dream that I had where it was like we were at this, I guess, festival or whatever. It almost looked like NRG, and I had tickets, and the lady was not letting me in. It had only scanned one ticket, and so I told the person that I was dating at the time, I was like, "Well, you go ahead and go into the festival, and I'll figure out what's going on." And you'd think in real life, if you're with somebody and you're at a festival, and let's say I tell you, "Yeah, you go ahead, and I'll figure this out," you would think the person would say, "No, well, I'll wait for you." But in the damn dream, they didn't. So they went, right? And then I'm still at the front trying to figure out how to fix the ticket. And then she comes back and she's like, oh, like, did you see this? Like, this guy, blah, 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 or whatever. And then I'm like, dude, I'm still trying to. And I remember feeling in the dream, like, so, like, I don't matter. You could care less about what happens to me. And the dream kind of like steered in that direction and stuff. But that would definitely be something that's been repetitive for me, feeling very unchosen, even though I'm like telling you I'm feeling unchosen and you ain't doing nothing about it.
I'm not smiling because I think it's funny or anything. I'm smiling because like look at us doing shadow work.
No, seriously, I remember interpreting that dream and like really sitting on it, and I'm like, well, damn, I know what all this means.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because once you've been hurt, once you've been broken, or once the trust has been, broken, whatever, your body remembers that.
Mm-hmm.
So if your body remembers it, so does your subconscious.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, and if we think about it, like when you go through something and you don't deal with it, what happens to it? It stays in your body physically.
Even when things are okay, your nervous system can replay it.
Mm-hmm.
It can replay what it learned until you
Mm-hmm.
process that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about those repetitive dreams is they're screaming at you to process something. Your job is to find out what it is.
Yep. And it can be difficult. It's not going to come in like from one day to another. Again, these are repetitive dreams. Like if it's consistently happening, it's because it's your sign. Like, hey, take a minute, figure out what's going on.
Dig
Come on.
deeper.
It's going to keep slapping you in the face. Pop, pop. Like that one scene from The Incredibles with that little short lady and she whacks the guy. Pop, pop, pop. If you know, you know. Never mind.
A moment of silence for the randomness that just was.
That was, yeah, that was random. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God. So we're looking at two very different experiences now. Dream one was calm, grounded, and clear, and dream two was loud, anxious, and overwhelming. So know the difference here. When you wake up with a gut feeling and knowing the truth, that's when you should be reading the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, digging deeper, as far as like what's going on around me, what have I noticed, what do I need to find out? Okay.
Yeah.
Dream number two, loud, anxious, and overwhelming again. That's when you need to stop and reflect, understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, dig deeper into what caused that in the first place and what it is that you need to process. Because it could be that you need to forgive the person for real. You may say, I forgive them, but you don't believe it. Or you need to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is what people need to understand. Anxiety is loud, intuition is steady. Anxiety will rush you, and intuition will just sit with you. Anxiety will ask you 1,000 questions, and intuition is going to give you one answer.
Yeah.
So let's go deeper. Anxiety feels like what? A tight chest, a racing thought, racing heart, urgency. Intuition, you're giving me anxiety.
I'm sorry. I'm about to take this mic off.
You can. I'm holding the laptop.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Where was I? Intuition, anxiety. One pushes you, the other waits for you, right? So in my practice, this girl.
No.
In my practice, okay, for example, the body is not just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's intuitive. And dreams are a space where all three of those can speak, but they're not always saying the same thing. Not every image is a message. Some are just medicine, in other words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I have my own handstand right now, so.
You could just hold it like a regular. You could
I
have just
don't.
taken this off.
No, it's okay. I like it like this.
I'm done. Okay. So, just like the other stories, sometimes what you're seeing isn't the truth.
Right.
Sometimes truth reveals itself over time. The question is, do you truly know the difference? Can you truly be grounded enough to understand what is and is not real?
I think that's a really good question to reflect on all of this. And I think the only person that could truly answer that is yourself.
Yes.
No one else is going to answer that question for you.
Yes.
Only you'll know. You'll know. People know. Your intuition speaks even if you're not as connected to it, it'll still speak. There it goes. Don't mind this, y'all.
So, I don't know what's going on today. Oh my God. Okay. So, I guess the real question is the real question is not, was the dream real? The real question is, what did the dream feel like in your body?
Mm.
Because discernment is the real protection here. Not reacting to everything you feel, but learning the difference between fear and knowing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't learn the difference, you'll treat fear like intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll ignore intuition when it actually speaks.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
That is scary.
But we're not going to treat fear like intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this is where people will lose themselves, not in what's happening, but in how they interpret it, right? So just groundedness, guys. When you're in a situation that feels chaotic,
No, I'm sorry. It's because like you're speaking facts right now, you know?
when you're when you're in a situation that feels chaotic, stop, breathe, and just pay attention to what your body feels like. Because if your heart is racing, it's likely that you have something deeper to process.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting there and you're calm and you're like, that was facts,
Yeah.
then you already know.
Yeah, I think that's super important. It's so important. And I think it also falls along the lines of being emotionally regulated.
Yes, emotional regulation is everything. And I think we should dive into that the next episode since now we both have had our Reiki healings.
Mm, yes. Yes. Okay. Let's touch on this real quick. Whenever you had like the Reiki healing and all that,
We can't go too deep because I really
not,
want to go deep next
yeah,
episode.
yeah, but just answer this question. Did you or did you not feel like everything went quiet and what you needed to hear or needed to decide on was very clear?
At first, no. At first, it had to be forced
Mm-hmm.
because I just could not. Like, I'll explain it all next episode, but I could not relax.
Yeah.
What she did something to me because
Damn, this next episode that we're going to talk about next time. Ooh.
next episode we're gonna dive into our experience with Reiki healing for the first time, um,
Sorry.
and how that opened up a whole can of worms for the both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. The best description I can give right now is just an awakening that I did not know I needed.
No, same.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we have very similar experiences, but very different outcomes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure.
This is Tiny Table Talk, and we'll see you at the table next time. Have a great rest of your week, or actually have a great beginning of your week. No, rest of your week. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but have a great one.
Yeah, and also it's going to be the first of the month soon, so new beginnings,
Yes.
positive vibes, cleaning out the trash.
Don't forget to set your intentions for the new month, the new calendar month, because we just did the new moon month.
Right. Yeah.
Set your intentions for the new month, cleanse your space, cleanse yourself, center yourself, spend some time in nature, go hug a tree. Y'all be laughing, but I hug trees.
I've done that a few times. It feels amazing.
Go do something for you.
Self-care. Self-care.
Period.